The smell of jasmine tea always brings me back to that day, the day I wasn't there. Through social media photos, I watched my family celebrate my sister Jennifer's law school graduation. The perfectly arranged table settings, the proud smiles, the elaborate cake I knew my mother had specially ordered. I wasn't invited, of course. Single mothers who bring shame to the family rarely are. My name is Fiona, and for 16 years, I've built a life without them. A good life, actually. My daughter Sophia is brilliant, kind, and everything I could have hoped for. We have our own traditions now: Sunday morning pancakes, holiday movie marathons, and a home filled with more laughter than judgment. The call came on a Tuesday morning while I was reviewing contracts at work. Fiona, my mother's voice, still sharp as cut glass after all these years. We need to talk. My hand tightened around the phone. Mom, is everything okay? I saw Sophia's Facebook post about her academic achievements. National Merit Scholar finalist. Why didn't you tell us? Of course, Sophia's success had finally made me worthy of acknowledgement. I've been a bit busy these past 16 years, Mom. You know, raising her alone after you and Dad kicked me out? The silence on the other end crackled with tension. The past is the past, she said finally. Your father and we've been thinking. It's time to put things right. We'd like to see you both. I caught my reflection in my office window. Successful corporate lawyer, designer suit, perfectly styled hair. Everything they said I'd never achieve as a teenage mother. Why now? Because we're family, she replied, as if that explained everything. We're having dinner this Saturday. Your sister will be there. Even your cousin Angela is flying in. The same cousin Angela who told everyone I was probably sleeping with the entire football team? Fiona, please. People change. We've changed. I glanced at the photo on my desk. Sophia at her science fair last month, beaming beside her first place project. She'd never asked about her grandparents, but I'd caught her sometimes, looking at old family photos I'd hidden away. I'll think about it, I said. We're at the same house, 6 o'clock. She paused. We've missed you. After hanging up, I sat there, staring at my phone until my assistant Meg knocked on my door. Everything okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. Something like that. I managed to smile. Hey, remember all those times you said I should write a book about my family drama? Yeah. I think I'm about to get some new material. That evening, watching Sophia do her homework at our kitchen table, I made my decision. I'd go to that dinner, not for them, but for her, and this time I'd be the one setting the rules. Hey, Mom, Sophia called out, not looking up from her calculus. Why are you smiling like that? Just thinking about Saturday, I said, already planning what I'd wear. We're going to visit some people who need to learn a few lessons about family. Cool, she said, still focused on her equations. Can we get ice cream after? Baby girl, we can get whatever you want. This weekend is going to be interesting. I spent Saturday morning hanging signs around my house like I was decorating for a party. Except these weren't celebratory banners. They were my new house rules, printed in elegant script on cream cardstock. Mom, are you serious? Sophia asked, watching me tape one to the entryway mirror. Honesty, kindness, and respect required for entry? Dead serious. I straightened the sign. And look, I made extras for the living room and dining room. You're being extra dramatic today, she said, but helped me hang them anyway. At 5:55 p.m., the doorbell rang. I smoothed my black designer dress and opened the door to find my parents standing there, looking exactly as I remembered, but older. Mom's perfectly coiffed hair had gone silver, and Dad's shoulders seemed to slope more than before. What is this? Mom pointed at the sign, her perfectly plucked eyebrows drawing together. House rules, I said sweetly. Please read them carefully before entering. Dad cleared his throat. Fiona, is this really necessary? as necessary as throwing out your pregnant teenage daughter was. I held the door wider. Coming in? They exchanged glances but stepped inside. Sophia appeared from the kitchen, and I watched their faces transform. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my goodness," she whispered. "She looks just like you at that age." "Hi," Sophia said, awkward but polite. "I'm Sophia." Mom moved to hug her, but I stepped between them. "Let's all sit down first. Jennifer and Angela should be here soon." The doorbell rang again. Jennifer walked in, looking successful in her lawyer outfit, followed by Angela, who'd apparently traded her mean girl sneer for Botox. "Nice signs," Jennifer muttered as she passed me. Once everyone was seated in my living room, the silence grew thick enough to cut. Sophia fidgeted beside me on the couch. "Well," Mom finally said, "this is wonderful, the family together again." "Is it?" I asked. "Because last I checked, family doesn't abandon family." "Fiona," Dad started, "we know we made mistakes." "Mistakes?" I laughed. "Is that what we're calling it?" "Mom," Sophia whispered, "maybe we should—" "No, sweetie, they need to hear this." I turned to my parents. 16 years of silence. No calls on Christmas, no birthday cards, nothing. And now suddenly, you want to play happy family? Angela shifted uncomfortably. "People change, Fiona." "They sure do. I changed. I became a lawyer, bought this house, raised an amazing daughter, all without your help." "That's exactly why we're here," Dad said quietly. We, we want to make amends." "Really?" I leaned forward. "Or is it because Sophia's achievements are making headlines in the academic world and you don't want to explain to your country club friends why you've never met your brilliant granddaughter?" The room went silent. Mom's face paled. "How dare you suggest—" she began. "Truth hurts, doesn't it?" I stood up. "Dinner's ready, but remember the house rules: honesty, kindness, and respect. Break them, and you can leave the same way you made me leave 16 years ago." I headed to the dining room, feeling their stares on my back. Sophia followed, squeezing my hand. "You okay, Mom?" "Never better, baby." I squeezed back. "Never better." Dinner was a minefield of passive-aggressive comments and loaded silences. I'd just served dessert when Mom dropped her bomb. "The scholarship ceremony is next Friday, isn't it, Sophia?" She smiled too sweetly. "We've already RSVP'd. I nearly dropped the serving spoon." "You what?" "Well, as her grandparents, we naturally—" "Naturally?" I cut her off. "There's nothing natural about suddenly claiming grandparent rights after 16 years. Sophia pushed her cake around her plate. "Actually, Mom, I kind of told them about it." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. The name on the screen made my blood freeze. Mac. "Excuse me," I muttered, stepping into the kitchen. "What do you want?" "Hey, Fee." His voice was exactly as I remembered, smooth and practiced. "Heard about Sophia's scholarship. Pretty impressive." "How did you—" "It's all over social media. Look, I know I haven't been around, but I'd like to come to the ceremony." I gripped the counter. 16 years of nothing, and now you want to play proud daddy? "I've changed, got my life together, own my own business now." "Congratulations, the answer's still no." Back in the dining room, Jennifer was showing Sophia photos on her phone. "That's you and your mom at my high school graduation." "Well, before—" "Before what?" Sophia asked. "Before I got pregnant," I said sharply. "Before your loving grandparents decided their reputation was worth more than their daughter." Mom set down her fork with a clang. "We were trying to protect you." "From what? Success? Because look around, Mom. I managed that just fine without you." "Is that my dad?" Sophia was looking at another photo on Jennifer's phone. My heart stopped. "Yes," Jennifer said. "That's Mac. He was—" "That's enough," I snapped. "Jennifer, a word, now." In the hallway, I confronted her. What are you doing? She has a right to know her family history. Her family history? Where was this concern for family when I was sleeping on Tessa's couch with a newborn? Mom? Sophia appeared behind us. Why didn't you tell me you had pictures of my dad? Because he doesn't deserve to be called that, I said. A father is someone who shows up. But people change, Mom called from the dining room. Like Mac has. He's quite successful now, you know. I spun around. You've been in contact with him? The guilty look on her face said everything. Get out, I said quietly. All of you, now. Fiona, be reasonable. Get out. They filed past my house rules signs in silence. Dad paused at the door. We really did come to make amends, he said softly. No, I replied. You came because Sophia's success made you look bad, and now you're trying to rewrite history by bringing Mac back into the picture? Leave. After they left, Sophia stood in the hallway hugging herself. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I pulled her into a hug. None of this is your fault, baby. None of it. Are you going to tell me about him? About what really happened? I looked at the house rules sign still hanging on the wall. Honesty, kindness, and respect required. Yeah, I said. I think it's time you knew everything. The next morning, our neighbor Pearl showed up with her signature banana bread and a concerned expression. Honey, I saw your family leaving last night. There was quite a bit of commotion. Nothing gets past you, does it? I smiled, letting her in. Well, when Laurel Gardner's voice carries across 3 houses. She set down the bread. Want to talk about it? Before I could answer, my doorbell rang again. This time, it was Tessa, my best friend since college, carrying coffee and wearing her I'm ready for drama face. Pearl texted me, she explained, handing me a latte. Spill. I'd barely started explaining when Jennifer appeared at my door, looking nervous. Can we talk? She asked. Depends. Are you here as Mom's spy or my sister? Neither. I'm here because you need to know something. She glanced at Pearl and Tessa. Privately? They stay, I said firmly. They're more family than most of our blood relatives. Jennifer sighed, sitting down. Fine. Mom's been planning this for a while. The reunion, getting back in touch with Mac, all of it. What do you mean, planning? She's been monitoring Sophia's academic progress for years, through her friends on the school board, social media, everything. She was waiting for the right moment to, what did she call it? Rehabilitate the family image. My coffee cup froze halfway to my mouth. Excuse me? There's more, Jennifer continued. Remember when you couldn't get that apartment after Sophia was born? The one that mysteriously fell through? No, I whispered. She wouldn't. She called the landlord, told them you were unstable, that you'd be a liability. Tessa swore under her breath. Pearl reached for my hand. That's not all, Jennifer said. She's been managing your reputation for years, telling people you refused her help, that you were the one who cut off contact. She even told the country club you were in rehab. That manipulative, Tessa started. Why are you telling me this now? I interrupted. Because I'm tired of the lies, and because Jennifer pulled out her phone, showing me an email. Mom's planning to make a speech at Sophia's scholarship ceremony about family reconciliation and forgiveness. Over my dead body, I snapped. I'll help you stop her, Tessa said immediately. We all will. Pearl nodded. Count me in. That woman needs a lesson in real family values. No, I said slowly, an idea forming. I have a better plan. Jennifer, you said Mom's been managing my reputation? For years. Then it's time I managed hers. I turned to Tessa. Remember those old emails I saved? The ones where Mom detailed exactly why she was throwing me out? Tessa's eyes lit up. The ones where she admitted it was all about her country club reputation? Those, exactly. I looked at Jennifer. How would the school board feel about having such a publicly toxic person speak at their ceremony? They'd withdraw the invitation immediately, Jennifer said, but Mom would be humiliated. Exactly. I stood up, walking to my house rules sign. Honesty, kindness, and respect required. She broke all three. Now she can deal with the consequences. Fiona, Pearl warned, revenge can be dangerous. This isn't revenge, I replied. This is justice, and it's been 16 years coming. The scholarship ceremony was 3 days away when I found Sophia crying in her room, clutching her phone. Baby, what's wrong? She showed me her screen. A Facebook message from Mac. He wants to meet me, says he's changed, that he wants to make things right. I sat beside her, my chest tight. What do you want? I don't know. She wiped her eyes. Grandma says he's different now, has his own business, got married, has 2 kids. The words hit like punches. He'd started a whole new family while abandoning his first child. My phone buzzed. A text from Jennifer. Mom's at the country club practicing her speech. Dad looks miserable. Come with me, I said to Sophia. There's something you need to see. We drove to my old storage unit. In the back corner sat a dusty box labeled 2007. Inside were eviction notices, food stamp applications, and a stack of unopened child support envelopes, all returned to sender. This was us, I explained. While Mac was finding himself, this was our life. Mom, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I pulled out a worn notebook. This is my diary from back then. Read the entry from March 15th. Sophia read aloud. Today I got my acceptance letter from law school, full scholarship. When I told Mom and Dad, they said I should give you up for adoption. Said I couldn't be a mother and a lawyer. Said I had to choose. I choose you. I'll always choose you. She looked up, tears streaming. You gave up law school for me? No, baby. I delayed it. Worked as a paralegal, saved every penny, took night classes when you were older. It took 8 years instead of 3, but we did it. We? You were my motivation. Every time you smiled, every time you learned something new, that kept me going. My phone buzzed again. Jennifer had sent a photo of Mom's speech notes. Despite our differences, family always finds its way back together. What a load of crap, I muttered. What? Your grandmother's speech. She's planning to use your ceremony to paint herself as the forgiving matriarch who welcomed back her prodigal daughter. But that's not what happened. No, it's not. I pulled out the old emails I'd printed. These tell the real story, how she cared more about her social standing than her daughter and granddaughter. Sophia read them, her face hardening. She's horrible. She is. But exposing these might hurt you too. People talk, and I don't want your moment ruined by family drama. Mom, Sophia grabbed my hand. You protected me my whole life. Let me help protect you now. My phone buzzed one more time. A message from my father. Can we talk? Alone? There's something you should know about your mother's plans. I showed Sophia the message. Are you going to meet him? I looked at the storage unit full of our struggles, then at my brilliant daughter who'd overcome them all. Yes, I said, but not to reconcile. It's time to find out exactly what your grandmother's been plotting. I'm coming with you. Sophia, no, Mom. You said we did everything together. This too. I hugged her tight, breathing in the familiar scent of her shampoo. Okay, together. Together, she agreed. And Mom, I'm not answering Mac's message. Some people don't deserve second chances. We met Dad at a quiet coffee shop downtown. He looked smaller somehow, hunched over his cup, like it could shield him from what was coming. Thanks for meeting me, he said as we sat down. Sophia, you look so grown up. That happens in 16 years, I said coldly. What's this about? He glanced around nervously. Your mother. She's not just planning a speech. She's arranged for a newspaper feature. Local girl makes good. 3 generations of successful women. That sort of thing. Of course she has. I laughed bitterly. Let me guess. She's the hero of the story? She's invited the country club board, her charity committee, everyone who matters to her. He paused. And Mac, Sophia stiffened beside me. Why? Because it's a perfect redemption story, I realized. The prodigal daughter returns, the absent father reforms, the successful granddaughter proves we all made the right choices. It's all about her image. I tried to talk her out of it, Dad said, but you know your mother. Do I? Because the mother I knew threw me out in the rain when I was 17 and pregnant. I should have stopped her. His voice cracked. I should have done something. But you didn't. No. He pulled out an envelope. That's why I'm giving you these. Inside were more emails, dozens of them, correspondence between Mom and various people over the years, messages to employers warning them about hiring me, letters to college admissions offices, even emails to Mac, encouraging him to stay away. She did all this, Sophia whispered, reading, to her own daughter. She thought she was protecting the family name. Dad's hands shook. I kept copies of everything. I told myself it was to protect you, but really, I was just a coward. Why show us now? Because I can't watch her hurt you again. And because, he looked at Sophia. I'd like a chance to actually be a grandfather. A real one, not just for show. My phone buzzed. A message from Jennifer. Mom's added more to the speech. She's going to announce a college fund for Sophia, making it look like she supported you all along. She's unbelievable, I muttered, showing Dad the message. Use the emails, he said. Stop her. I'll back you up this time. Even if it means losing your social standing, your friends, they were never really friends. He reached for my hand, but I pulled back. It's too late for that, I said, but not too late to do the right thing. Sophia, who'd been quiet, suddenly spoke up. I have an idea, the ceremony. What if we beat her to it? What do you mean? My acceptance speech. I get to make one, right? What if I tell our real story? Not her version, ours. I stared at my daughter, seeing my own strength reflected back at me. Sophia, you don't have to. I want to. For us. For every kid whose family chose appearances over love. Dad nodded slowly. It would devastate her. Good, Sophia said firmly. Sometimes people need to be devastated to learn. I looked between them. My father seeking redemption, my daughter standing up for justice, and me, finally ready to fight back. Okay, I said, let's write that speech. The auditorium buzzed with excitement. From my seat in the front row, I watched Mom work the crowd, playing the proud grandmother role to perfection. Max sat 3 rows back, his new wife beside him. Dad kept checking his phone, perspiration visible on his forehead. The principal stepped up to the podium. And now, I'd like to invite Laurel Gardner to say a few words about our scholarship recipient, her granddaughter Sophia. Mom rose gracefully, smoothing her expensive suit. Thank you. Family has always been the cornerstone of our values. I caught Jennifer's eye across the aisle. She gave me a slight nod, the signal that she'd already handed copies of the emails to key members of the school board. Through all life's challenges, Mom continued, we've remained united in our support of each other. Sophia squeezed my hand. She sat among the other honorees, her speech notes clutched tight. And so, it gives me great pleasure to announce the establishment of the Gardner Family Scholarship Fund. Murmurs rippled through the audience. Mom was beaming, basking in the attention. Now, the principal returned to the podium. I'd like to invite Sophia to share a few words about her academic journey. This was it. Sophia stood, walked to the podium, and unfolded her papers. Mom's smile grew wider. "Thank you," Sophia began. "I'd like to talk about family, real family." Mom's smile flickered. "When I was born, my mother was 17. Her parents, my grandparents, threw her out. She slept on couches, worked 3 jobs, and still managed to read to me every night." The audience went silent. Mom's face drained of color. "My father disappeared. My grandparents blocked my mother from jobs, housing, and opportunities. But she never gave up. She put herself through law school while raising me, became successful despite their efforts to stop her. I saw the school board members pulling out the emails Jennifer had distributed, reading them with growing shock. Now, suddenly, everyone wants to be part of our story. My father wants to play dad. My grandmother wants to pretend she supported us all along. But success isn't just about achievements, it's about character. Mom stood up abruptly. "Sophia, that's enough." "No, it's not." Sophia's voice grew stronger. "You don't get to rewrite our history. You don't get to pretend you were there when you weren't. Real family stands by you when things are hard, not just when you're winning awards." "How dare you?" Mom hissed, but Dad grabbed her arm. "Let her finish, Laurel. For once, just listen." "My real family," Sophia continued, "it's my mom, who chose me over everything. It's Tessa, who gave us a home when we had none. It's the people who showed up, not the ones trying to claim credit now." The audience erupted in applause. I saw Mom rushing out, her carefully constructed facade crumbling. Board members were huddled together, whispering. Mac and his wife slipped out a side door. Sophia returned to her seat beside me, shaking but proud. "You okay?" I whispered. "Better than okay?" She smiled. "I'm free." From the back of the auditorium, Pearl and Tessa gave us thumbs up. Jennifer was crying. Dad sat alone, looking both broken and relieved. The truth was finally out, and it felt like breathing fresh air after years underwater. The morning after the ceremony, I took down all my house rules signs. Not because they weren't needed anymore, but because their message had finally been heard. The doorbell rang. I opened it to find Dad standing there, holding a worn leather briefcase. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. Sophia was at the kitchen table, doing homework despite it being a weekend. "I brought something," Dad said, opening the briefcase. "Every article your mother tried to suppress about your law career. Every award ceremony she pretended didn't exist. I kept them all." He spread them across the table. Newspaper clippings, photos, certificates. My life's achievements, carefully preserved by the man who'd stayed silent for 16 years. "Why did you keep these?" "Because I was proud of you. Too coward to say it, but proud." Sophia picked up a photo of me at my law school graduation, holding her little hand as I accepted my diploma. "I remember this. Miss Pearl took it." The doorbell rang again. This time it was Mom, her makeup perfect, but her eyes red. "I suppose you're happy now," she said. "The school board has rescinded my speaking privileges at all future events. My charity committee is reviewing my position." "Karma's interesting that way," I replied. "I came to say—" She straightened her shoulders. "I'm sorry. Not because I got caught, but because I saw your face yesterday when Sophia spoke. That's how I must have made you feel all those years ago." "Mom," I said quietly, "you didn't just make me feel something. You actively tried to ruin my life." "I know." She looked at the clippings on the table. "Cameron, you kept all these?" "Someone had to remember the truth," he said. My phone buzzed. A text from Mac. "I understand now. I'll stay away. She has the only parent she needs." "Damn right," I muttered. "What happens now?" Sophia asked, looking between us all. "Now," I said, "we set new rules, not on paper this time, but in actions. Mom, Dad, If you want to be in our lives, you earn it, day by day, truth by truth. And if we fail, Mom whispered, then you fail, but at least you'll fail trying instead of failing by never trying at all. Dad picked up a recent photo of Sophia and me at her science fair. I'd like to try, really try this time. Me too, Mom said softly. No schemes, no image management, just family. We'll see, I replied. Trust takes time. The doorbell rang one final time. Pearl, Tessa, and Jennifer burst in carrying champagne and takeout. We're celebrating, Tessa announced. Sophia's speech is trending locally, and the school board wants to start a support program for teenage parents. Using your story as inspiration, Jennifer added. If that's okay? I looked at my daughter, so strong and wise beyond her years, at my parents finally facing their mistakes, at my chosen family who never needed rules on paper to know how to love. Yeah, I said, that's okay, but we tell it truthfully, the hard parts and the good parts. Speaking of truth, Sophia said, I have one more announcement. I'm starting a peer support group at school for kids dealing with family drama. Mom wiped her eyes. You really are your mother's daughter. I know, Sophia smiled. Lucky me. We gathered around the table, broken pieces slowly mending, creating something new and real and honest. No signs needed,